listening to the Art of Homeschooling podcast, where we help parents cultivate creativity and connection at home. I'm your host, Jean Miller, and here on this podcast, you'll find stories and inspiration to bring you the confidence you need to make homeschooling work for your family. Let's begin. Hello, friend, and welcome to this episode on simplicity mindset for the holidays. As this episode comes out, Halloween is just over, and it's now the beginning of November. And we all know what that means. The holidays are right around the corner. So in this episode today, I want to talk about 5 simple practices you can do to promote a simplicity mindset for the coming holidays, so that you can answer this question: how can my family and I have a meaningful and peaceful holiday season? We would all agree that the holiday season is a wonderful time to celebrate with holiday cheer, a time to connect with family and friends, a time for finding the true spirit and deeper meaning of this season. But for many parents, and this was myself included, it can also be a stressful time. We might feel rushed, overscheduled, and cluttered with more and more stuff. We might feel oversugared, overtired, and overloaded. Some might even think of this time of year as a full-blown holiday soul fever. What is a soul fever? In his book, Simplicity Parenting, author Kim John Payne describes soul fever as an experience when a child or even a parent is so overwhelmed and disoriented that they're unable to be their best self, unable to participate or even behave well. So, how do we prevent or reduce holiday soul fever? How can we stay closer to our family values and hopes of peace, connection, and joy? Here are 5 simple practices to help you create that simple holiday mindset, that simplicity holiday mindset. The first is let values be your foundation. The best place to start is with values so that you can create a strong foundation. So what values do you hold most dear? Are your holidays aligned with these values? Take some time to reflect on these questions, perhaps with a nice hot cup of tea and in conversation with your partner. What did you discover? Are your holidays aligned with your values? If not, what do you want to change? This type of reflection can really help you set your intentions for the holiday season. How do you want your holidays to feel? Perhaps you want to write down 1 to 3 words to describe the feelings of the holidays that you're hoping for. How can you walk through the holidays with this intention? And how can you live your values out in the day-to-day moments? What can you say no thank you to this holiday season? Too many decorations, too many slices of pie or gifts, or late nights? All good questions to consider. And you might want to journal about these or talk about it with a loved one. Just remember, identify your values first so that they can form the foundation of everything you do this holiday season. Second practice is visualize when you first wake up. Before you even get out of bed, take a couple of minutes, 1 to 10 minutes, to envision how you want your day to unfold, how you want it to go. What does your daily rhythm look like at this time of year? How will the activities you planned flow from one to the next to the next? Are there sticky points or transition moments that might be challenging? And how can you help those go more smoothly? Do a mental rehearsal of how you want to respond and how you want to show up, who you want to be. Remember, the values you chose in that first step can help you find ways to deal with your day-to-day life. How can you bring those values front and center? Imagine your day and even your entire holiday season that is restful, replenishing, and restorative. Okay, the third practice, embrace intuition in the moment. This can be one of the hardest practices I find, but being present is our goal, right? That is what all kinds of inner work and mindset work brings us. So lean on your intuition in the moment, anytime you need it. Stop and think, am I headed in the right direction? If you sense that things are going south or getting too overwhelming in your family, among your children, here are a few phrases that can bring you back to center. You might say out loud, wait, I need a moment to check in with myself. Or actually, let's pause and take a break because something doesn't feel quite right. If you sense that things are going in a positive direction, you could say something like, I'm so grateful for X. It makes me feel Y. Or I notice how, and then fill in the blank with, we're all getting along, or look how connected we're feeling. Just name something that you notice about just name something you notice about the tone and what's going on. All right, the fourth practice, do hands-on activities together. Hands-on activities are actually the container for connection. It's not about being busy or doing, but rather focusing on the connection as you do the projects, as you cook together, clean together, make together. By the way, this is exactly why we focus on handwork and stories in the month of December, every December, inside the Inspired at Home community, so that you can simplify your holiday season, focus on your values, and connect with your kiddos. I'll share a little bit more about that community in just a moment. So here's what I suggest for you. Brainstorm some seasonal crafts or handwork projects you can do either together with your children or side by side during the months of November and December. You might make a decorative garland, paint place settings for the Thanksgiving table, make lanterns, or cut paper snowflakes. There are so many wonderful ideas to consider. Then just make sure you have supplies on hand for the activities you want to do so that you can weave these projects into your days. And as you work with your hands, focus on your heart and the connection you're strengthening with your loved ones. And practice number 5, do a values check-in and visualization before sleep. Take 1 to 10 minutes when you're lying down in bed before falling asleep and do a quick check-in about your values. Then envision how you want the next day to go, specifically how you want to respond, how you want to show up, how you can connect. I hope these 5 practices inspire you to focus on your values, embrace your intuition, and utilize the power of visualization and seasonal hands-on activities to connect with your kiddos and family. You really can reduce or even prevent holiday soul fever this coming season. And it all starts with values and setting some intentions. And hey, I'm going deeper into this topic, this specific topic at our Simplicity Holidays and Make Along coming up very soon. It's taking place on Thursday, November 2nd, 2023 at 2 p.m. Eastern. So if you're listening to this episode in real time, like right as it comes out, come join us. All you need to do is simply join the Inspired at Home community. You can join for just 1 month if you wish. It's a month-by-month membership. You can join anytime, cancel anytime, and we'd love to welcome you. Every month inside the Inspired at Home community, we have a focus with trainings and coaching calls and community conversations. The November focus is Simplicity Holidays, and our December focus is Handwork plus Stories. So if you're listening in real time, you can join the Make Along by joining the Inspired at Home community. Just go to artofhomeschooling.com/inspired at home. And if you're listening after November 2nd, 2023, you can still join the community and have access to a replay of the November gathering inside the Masterclass library. That, by the way, also has over 30 masterclasses for you to enjoy. And lastly, you can find an outline of this episode and links to everything I mentioned here in the show notes, which is at artofhomeschooling.com/episode 156. That's 156. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now. That's all for today, my friend. But here's what I want you to remember. Rather than perfection, let's focus on connection. Thanks so much for listening, and I'll see you on the next episode of the Art of Homeschooling podcast.